Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you live on a Monday from Whitefish, Montana. All day long, I keep thinking it's Tuesday. I don't know why. Maybe because I did the catalog walkthrough yesterday, so it felt like another work day. I didn't have a Sunday off. I don't know, but even this morning getting up and choosing clothes, I was like, all right, it's Tuesday, so I need red because that's an energy color for the day. And then it was like, oh, wait, it's not Tuesday. It's Monday. It's green. So it's been one of those days. And so I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready to do this live. And I've got this kit in front of me and Kit Together Tuesday because the post said Kit Together Tuesday, except it's not Tuesday. I don't know why I'm in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry for September to end. I'm still working hard for that Alaska trip, so I don't want it to end too soon because I'm still attempting to get there. So I don't know, but today, all day long, I keep thinking it's Tuesday, and it even came so far as to I posted for Kit Together Tuesday, and you probably all were looking at it like, June, it's Monday. It's supposed to be Paper Pumpkin Play. So I had my Q4 planning this week with Megan Summerall for Next Level Planning. And so I'm already planning for, the next quarter, but the Tuesday thing was already in my head. I have no idea why. So it is Monday. It is Paper Pumpkin Playdate, and I should probably get my keyboard out of the way. And we are going to play. So for this month, I thought I'd do something a little different. So last week we made the cards as designed. So if you are a new person to Stampin' Up, if you're a new person to card making, a new person to Paper Pumpkin, you would probably get the kit and you would design the cards as the instructions say, just like we did last week, which was actually just Friday, because last Monday was appointments for my folks. And for those of you who know, they live with me, so I am the driver and the secretary. I take all the notes at the doctor's offices as to what's going on and report back to them as well. Not that we see a ton of doctors, just every now and then it seems like we got a whole bunch of appointments. So I did the Paper Pumpkin on Friday because I'd gotten the kit and I didn't want to wait anymore. So what I'm going to do is each time we get together, I'm going to take the cards to the next level. If you are still beginning and you're just getting started, you'll probably make the cards as designed. Today what I'm going to do is we're going to pretend that now I've made the cards as designed, I've been practicing, I've been making a few cards, and now I want to go one step more. So maybe I bought the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and a couple embossing folders. So that's what we're going to do with the cards next, is we're going to jazz them up a little bit with an embossing folder. So let's go ahead and switch here to our wonderful kit. Comes in this box. Sometimes it's a special box with a different sort of decoration, but on a regular basis, it's typically our Poppy Parade and Flirty Flamingo polka dots. When you get your first kit, it's going to be all wrapped up in plastic and tissue so that it is all protected and like a gift in the mail. Here are our no-fail instructions. We have 3 different cards, 3 of each card, so there's a total of 9. Hello, Covina. Great to see you on here. There are add-on dies which are now sold out, so sadly you won't be able to get them if you didn't already have them. They are awesome though, and I don't even have any extras. However, if you do want these and didn't get them, you can let me know, and I have a demo friend who buys extras and she might still have some. I can check with her. No promises. Our coordinating colors are Cajun Craze, Crumb Cake, Darling Duckling, Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, Timid Tiger, Metallic Chocolate Bronze. Ooh, that just sounds totally yummy, like a piece of candy. That must be what those leaves are called. Metallic Chocolate Bronze. Ooh, that gives me a little goosebumps. All right, and then on this page is where it shows you the ingredients for the cards, and then we put the cards together as it showed in the instructions. So let's look at those. So we have Thinking of You with our wonderful fox. Those are all popped up on dimensionals. And we have our geese flying off to the south. Here we have wishing you the happiest of days. We have our leaves. Here's that chocolate metallic, what was it called? I gotta look at that. Metallic chocolate bronze. Here is our metallic chocolate bronze leaves. And no, they're not edible. And they don't smell, ugh. They don't smell like chocolate for sure. They smell like metallic paper. And then I had goofed, and these were supposed to be stamped off, not bold, but I kind of like it the bold. So I goofed on every single card because I make the mistakes so you don't have to. All right. And here was our other card with these wonderful acorns, which one of my friends told me she didn't realize there were 2 acorns on it until I stamped it. That's kind of funny. And I goofed on here too. Oh, I put the dimensional behind it on the wrong side and the dots on the other side. So I had to flip that around. So I made a mistake on every card so that you don't have to. Here are our stamps. Your very first kit will come with a block. Hang on to it. You can use it every single time. And if you've been around me for a while, you know that I tend to grab my ergonomic blocks. I bought some more with last week's sale because I like having the different sizes. All right. This works just as well. You can see though that it's just not as thick as our ergonomic ones. So it's just your choice as to what you want to use. And then we have the Cajun Craze spot, and I use my large one because I can use these then as giveaways. All right, so let's get started. All right, we have our adhesive. I'm going to set that aside. I'll probably be using the glue today just because it's simpler and easier. Hi, Missy. You stamped, yes, you stamped yours off just like the instructions said. June didn't read them clearly because I was making the mistakes, so you don't have to. So now you know what it looks like if you don't stamp off. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right, so we have here some of the other card pieces and our sentiment pieces and our metallic chocolate bronze leaves that don't smell or taste like chocolate, I'm sure. We're going to pull out all the tops and all the leaves. I've seen some cute alternates that I might case. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to do 2 cards today. I don't know which one. So I'm just going to get one of each envelope out, and then we'll put it together with whichever one. I saw Rachel Tessman took these envelope flaps and cut them off and then cut them into different shapes and then pieced them all back together. She must have cut them at the same time and then pieced them back together. That was a super colorful card. I liked that. I'm going to take one of each of these because I haven't decided. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm not going to use this one. I think we will emboss these 2 and then we'll put them together however we want because that's the whole point. We can do it any way we want. I did bring over the dies just in case because some of you do have the dies, so I want to be able to show you what you can do with those. And then we'll need some different sentiment pieces, and we'll see. I won't need more than one of each of these because I'll do something different with each. And then we'll leave these over here. So I'll put these back in the box to use for next week. So first I'm going to go ahead, and what I like to do, and I'm going to walk through this with you, I like to look at it and first figure out which way. We'll see, I might do it this way. I'd like to use my favorite one, which is the exposed brick, excuse me, 3D embossing folder. I think that will look best on this one because this has a much stronger, I have put some adhesive on there. Don't know how that happens sometimes. I have no idea how adhesive gets all over. So I agree. I think it looks good both ways. You can either do that stamping of those leaves full on or have it more of a background. So I'm going to use this one on here, and I think because this is a plaid, I'm going to go ahead and use the plaid on here. right. Now, the other thing that I want to point out is because these are double-sided, you could cut this and get more cards. So if you are in need of a lot of cards, you could cut this and then you could get more cards out of it. So I'm just going to emboss the front of it though, and I'm going to leave the card base otherwise. So with this one, because it's so long, you will need to put your card in this way. And then I'm gonna just line it up here. So you're gonna line up your fold line with the end of your pattern. Yep, I think that's gonna look cute. And same over here, you're gonna line up your fold line with the end of your pattern. And yes, it's gonna look upside down, but that's okay because no one's gonna know that it's upside down, except for you and me right here, right now. Now, if you wanted to do a portrait card, you could also put it in this way. So here we go. Whoop. All right. Let's see, do I want it? Okay, we'll do this one as a landscape. We'll do this one as a portrait. And let's go ahead and bring over. See, I just sometimes have to look at it through here to see how I like it. So we're going to bring over our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I always have it on the left. When my people come to the house, they think I'm really weird, but I'm a little bit ambidextrous and I like to make sure to keep things up and use both hands, both arms. So we're going to put that in. Normally you want to put it in with the fold, but because we can't do that with this card sticking out, we're going to go ahead and do it this way. So we want to have it set back far enough so that we have the plates going in first, and then we're going to roll it through. Right, like that. And then here is the front of our card. We will go ahead and we'll wait to fold it. All right, so this one we're gonna put in fold first because that's pretty much the only way you can do it because it's as big as our plates. I think my guess is that they've gotten larger with the embossing folders because for scrapbooking you might want a larger piece, and so they are just using the size of the whole thing. All right, so this is the Plaid 3D. I guess I didn't pull that paper out with it, did I? Oh, no. Oh, yes, I did. All right, here we go. Forever Plaid 3D is what this one is called, and I really, really love using it. It's probably one of my favorite. And then this one is, again, the exposed brick. All right. And I'm thinking next time I should use this one. I may do a technique with that as we get further into our kit. Right now, I just want to keep it simple for the next level of stamper. So we're going to kind of do that each week. We're going to step it up a little bit more and a little bit more. That's what we're doing with this kit this time. All right, so I want to make sure to fold this on its score line. And I'm going to flip it over because I don't want to flatten. I don't want to flatten the front. So I'm just going to do it from behind. All right. Same with this one. Probably could have done that before we embossed it. Got ahead of myself. All right, because you want to make sure you get it actually on the score line and not where the embossing folder is. All right, so we're going to do this one this way and this one this way. So you can see all the pattern on this, and this one you can see how it just elevates that already lined plaid. All right, so now we're going to look at what we have here to play with. So we have the tree that we could do. We have leaves, we have that. That was originally on there, so I don't want to use it again, but you could just emboss the backs and then make the cards as they had originally designed them. So then this one would be on here, and this one would be on here. But I'm going to change it up. And of course, so I'm not going to use that one. We could also put this one over here. Ooh, I kind of like that. Kind of like that. We could make this one a shaker card even. It kind of begs to be a shaker card, but that would not be the next step for people. Maybe we will hold off. All right, I still have another one of those. We are definitely going to put it on dimensionals, but I'm going to go ahead and cheat a little. And I'm going to use, instead of using all those little mini dimensionals, I'm going to use my strips. Here we go. Because you can get a package of strips, and that way you don't have to fuss with a whole lot. Now the strips are typically used when you are doing a, whoop, where'd my scissors go? There we are. I'm back. All right, so this is gonna go here. And I'm using the outside edge actually, so I think I'll put it over here. Like that. And then this one over there. Then we have this one. I think instead of cutting that, I'm just going to cut. So I'm just going to do this along here. All right, so a lot of times these strips are used to make shaker cards, but we're not going to make a shaker card this time. Maybe the next time. All right, and I have a little piece right here I'm going to use. And it doesn't have to be solid lines, all right? It doesn't have to be solid lines, but we do need some dimensionals in there. So I'm going to use my regular sized ones. Here we go. That one's empty. I got tons of minis, you can see that. All right, so I'm gonna do that. And then I do need some minis for right here. This tree, you don't want it to sag and fall in. So you want to make sure you have your minis on the ends here. Like that. And we'll do one more right there. All right, so now we're going to use our Take Your Pick tool. Oop, wrong end. And take these out. So, have you made any alternates with your fall for toile? I found out from Missy yesterday how to say it correctly. So it's fall for toile, which is why it rhymes. It just looks like a real weird word, but it's probably French. So, and sometimes French words just don't. They have a different alphabet than we have. So they say their things a little bit differently. All right, so, oh, hello, Joanne. Great to see you on here. Let's see, looks good both ways. Love the sunflower folder. Yeah, I'm thinking that's definitely a good one for this. Sunflowers. Make sure we're opening it the right way. We're going to go ahead and stick that right there. Like that. Nothing sagging. There we go. And I'm actually going to stick the fox in here. I think the fox needs to go in there, so we're going to stick him in there. Let's see. Use a few of those. Put one on his tail. All right. I think we needed a little bit more. I almost put the pumpkins in because they're lighter, but then I thought, no, I really want the fox in there. looking back like that. Ooh. Wow, these are a little thicker. I thought that looked like. Okay, so note to self, these strips are a little thicker than our usual ones. So this actually is curving down, which I'm really not too worried about that. But my fox is not going to sit up high enough. So I'm going to put another set of these on here so that he does sit high enough. He's probably going to sit a little too high. Let's have a look and see. So note to self, use all the same dimensionals from the same sheet. There we go. He's actually coming alive a little bit more, being propped up like that. And then what we'll do, I'm going to use, let's see, do we want this one? What sentiments do we have? I think this one right here. So let's see what sentiments we have. I think thankful, yeah, thankful was on it before. Do we have any small sentiments? No, we don't. Warm wishes. All right, we're going to do warm wishes on one of these instead. If you have multiple paper pumpkins, then you probably have lots of leftovers of these, and then that is a great way to use them up, is when you have sentiments that you want to use but you don't have the right thing. So we want to kind of season this so that it's ready and not quite so sticky. You don't want to do the side that sticks to the stamp, remember that. You haven't even opened your kit yet, Joanne? Goodness. Use little leaves in the shaker card to look like fall leaves. Yeah, I don't want to cut them all out myself though. I mean, I suppose I could cut a bunch of these out, but those are kind of big. I'd have to find something where you could easily, I guess you could do these and then snip these apart. Yes. If you could find something that cuts a whole bunch of leaves at one time, but I would not want to fussy cut all those leaves. And we don't have anything but stars right now. So we'll say warm wishes. But you're right, leaves would be good. I think what Rachel did, she did some sort of a shaker card, but it had toile over it, because it had the toile over it instead of acetate. And she used, I think, itty bitty squares or itty bitty rectangles, snips of paper. So she did that. So we're gonna do right there. So we're going to have to use this piece to make sure it fits. Is it going to go down in there? Let's see. Yep, it will. All right, so the strips are thicker than the others. There we go, just like that. Warm wishes. I do like it. You could die cut a couple leaves and even make them look like they're falling to the ground. You could put a little pile of leaves here on the bottom. Ooh, wouldn't that be fun? Ooh, let's do that. Here we go. I've got some scraps. See, Missy, what you did? You just started something. I'm going to just die cut a couple of these in different colors, and we're just, or not in different colors, in the Cajun Craze, and I'm just going to put a few down here as if it fell. All right, so let's see if I can find some Cajun Craze scrap. Here we go. Cajun Craze. All right, we'll use that one. See, this is why I have this. I have all these scraps, And it is Scraptember, so yay, Missy, for helping me remember to use a scrap. We want to use up our scraps, and die cutting with your scraps is probably one of the best ways to do it. That's what I do a lot whenever I need to die cut something. I go straight to my scrap bin first. So let's cut a few of these. All right, it's going to go quick and easy. Or not. It doesn't want to come out. All right, we're going to just put a few down there. Oh, they're way big, but that's okay. It's the idea of it, right? It's the idea of it. So I will go back this way. I'm just going to do 3 so that it'll look like they're kind of piled up there. And so he's looking back at the pile of leaves. That's what he's doing. Whoop. He's looking back at the pile of leaves saying, whoa, they just fell. How did that happen? Not that a fox would do that. The fox wouldn't really care, would it? All right, here we go. But I love that Missy reminded me to use scraps by saying, hey, the leaves. All right, so we're just going to put a dab of glue on these because they're going to fall down into that corner. So we're going to put a dab of glue on these. Love the fox. Yes, I do too. I do too. All right. So it's just going to look like they fell randomly. Down like that. And so if you are a new crafter, and you got the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and you bought the dies that went with the paper pumpkin because it was an easy way to get started, that would be perfect. Oh, we could use the hello too. Maybe we'll do that on the next card. So this one is the Warm Wishes. I do like that. And there's my little pile of leaves. I couldn't stick them down. I should have stuck them over this way. I would have put them a little further down. I do have a hole right here that I could have kind of stuck them in, but they're there. And he's looking back to check out the leaves that fell off the tree. So Warm Wishes. And then on the inside, we could stamp, because we have the stamps, we could stamp the pumpkins that I was going to put on the outside. And I have to get the pumpkin pie, right? I can't use Cajun Craze for that. So I got to get the pumpkin pie and pick those up. Make sure to season them. They haven't been used yet. There we go. And I'm just going to put those right there. Super fun. Super fun. Yep, that worked. I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy. All right, let's see. Joanne, you really need to open this kit. It's great cards. Great cards. So I'm going to use this envelope that has the Cajun Craze because I think it will go nicely. All right, so there is card 1 alternate. Let's check out the other one. All right, so I don't think that goes. So we will be using the leaves, and I think we will use the hello and the pumpkins. And of course, we will have to throw in some of these metallic chocolate bronze leaves because they just sound so yummy. All right, so let's go ahead and do the hello in our Cajun Craze. I had another strip that was wider. Let's see if it's wide enough. It is. So let's go ahead and do the hello. And actually, yep, no, yep, we'll do that. I was debating on whether to do the acorns, but maybe we'll do the acorns another time. Ooh, we could put acorns in the acorns and leaves could go. Those are kind of big though, huh? I was thinking in the shaker card you could do acorns and leaves, but that would be a little bit on the big side. I'll have to think about that for next week. But that one with the tree is definitely calling to be a shaker card. I don't think I have any Toile though, so I wouldn't be able to do what Rachel did, because probably won't go to the store to buy some Toile just for that. I'd have to look and see if I had any, but I thought it was a cute idea. All right, there we have that, and we have this. So now the original card was like this. We're changing it up. We're going to do something a little different. I don't even know if we need both. I think we're just going to bring that in here like this. And I feel like I need another color. All right, but could, ooh, maybe we do it this way. All right, thinking out loud. Do we want it like this? And then the metallic chocolate bronze leaves behind like that. Hello. And then we could have our pumpkins here, or maybe we need this one instead. That might be better, easier to see. And then have our pumpkins right here. What do you think? Too bad it doesn't say hello fall somewhere. I kind of like that. I think the next thing I want to do, and I have veered away from super simple because I just have a hard time. Can you tell? I have a hard time going simple. I'm going to add a little bit of color to the background, just a very little bit. If you're new, you could do this. We're going to take our and stamp off over here. Woo, that's super dark. Good thing I stamped up. I just want to give it a little color. All right, stamp off, or not stamp off, brush off, tap off, whatever you want to do. You just want to add a little more color to this. All right, now let's see how that holds up. Yep, see, it gave it a little bit of a background. Ooh, I've got you all zoomed out. Let's zoom you in. All right, it gave it a little bit more of a background. I'm thinking I want to go just a smidge darker, not that dark, but just kind of in a circle. Just a little bit darker, like that. And that's easy to do. A beginner could easily do that. You're just adding a touch of color. So, where's my, here we go. We're going to stick that there. We're going to stick our leaves behind like that. Or we could even stick that one in there. Nope, don't like that. A little bit behind. And then we'll have our hello and our little pumpkins. Much better, much better. Actually, I don't like this one over here. I think I'm going to put it There. All right, so I want to do all this on dimensionals though. So first I'm going to put dimensionals on here, and I'm going to go ahead and use my regular sized ones. Like that. So we're going to start with the larger piece. Like, there we go. Like that. And then I'm going to stick some glue on the back of this, and I'm just going to glue it down flat. Right. So over here. Oop, there we go. Like that. And then I'm going to glue this one up under here a little bit. I don't want them to overpower everything. Ooh, see, so I have my dimensionals a little bit in the way. There we go. Now, if I wanted this dimensionalized, I would have to use something different. So we're going to try that again. Let's see, do I have another one? I do have another piece. All right, so this is how we're going to put dimensionals under the hello, because right now to cut all the little minis would not be an easy feat. But if you have some adhesive foam sheets, do I have any pieces? No, I guess it's just all. Adhesive foam sheets, you can put one under here, and then when you cut out, when you die cut the hello, it's already popped up. Now, I only need, where's my hello? I only need this much. So I don't want to cut this whole big piece. So I'm only going to cut out what I need. So I'm going to put this here. Yeah, I went way past beginner, didn't I? Well, I was inspired. I was inspired. What can I say? All right. Started off with the grand plan of being simple and just adding embossing folders. But that fast changed. Here we go. So we're going to stamp the, or we're going to emboss. No, we're not. We're going to cut. Are you laughing at me? Laugh with me. Give me some laughing emojis because I'm getting all tongue-tied. All right, so the L gets a little lost in the chocolate leaf. Yep, that's why I was changing that up. But popping it up like this will also help with that. All right. All right, here we go. And you might think that it won't cut, but it will. I'm going to roll it back for you. All right, so here we go. My card clubbers know that this works because I have done this for them. There we go. Let's pull this out. Slowly, carefully. All right. Okay, so these are all going to be coming out, and they have the foam on the back. All right. And then we're going to pull this word carefully out of our thing, and then our whole word will be on the foam adhesive sheet. Come on. It's sticky. It's sticky. And then we want to pop out that part. Okay, I guess we're going to pull the whole thing off. All right, so here, we want to do our pillow. There we go. I got foam sticky stuff all over me. And then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of our pumpkins. Ooh, that's almost too big. And we might as well just put a third one there. All right. There we go. There is, oh, and I guess I was doing that out of your range of vision, darn it. All right, so here we go. Here is card 2. Hello. All right, and then on the inside, we could stamp those really cute pumpkins again. And you could even go all the way across and do a bit of a border with them. Whoop. There we go. All right. Look, that looks so cute. I do like that. That looked really good. I wish I'd overlapped a little more so I didn't have as much overlapping, but it looks good. All right, so here is our hello card. All right, a great, quick, and easy card to make. It took me a little longer because I kept getting different inspiration and I had to go grab the supplies. But if all else fails, you can do the exact same card you did, stamp it first, and then add the embossing, and then add the card so that it looked like this, but just embossed. But instead, I went a little bit different, and we did the hello on the adhesive sheets. They are the foam adhesive sheets. All right, foam adhesive sheets, and that helps when you have more detailed things so that you don't have to try and cut them to put on here. Trust me, many a times I have. The other thing you can do if you don't want to have to put glue on this is we have just adhesive sheets that when you pull it up, it will be like a sticker. So here are our 2 alternates for today. All right, let me zoom out just a little bit for you. Here are our 2 alternates. I trust that you like them, and we will get back together again next week. All right, so with the leaf at the top, but you moved it. Yep, I moved it. Yes, that's what I thought too, that it really kind of got lost there, so I thought it was better to move it out of the way. So now you can read the hello. We used it in the darker Cajun Craze color, and that definitely helped. But it was nice to add a little bit of color behind it so that the lighter colors didn't get washed out into the whole card. So super fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the actual Kit Together Tuesday. We're going to make the rest of the cards that go into this organizer, just one of each card, and then that's what we're using for World Card Making Day. If you choose, you don't have to buy it. You can still register for World Card Making Day. I'm doing an in-person event earlier in the day when Stampin' Up! Does their video. And then in the evening, I'm doing a virtual event so you'll already have watched it. And then we can get together and just make cards together and talk about the things you liked or didn't like from the video. And then just keep doing some crafting. So I'm working on that post. That's why I was a little bit late, besides the fact that it dawned on me I was prepared for the wrong live. So thanks so much, and I will see you again tomorrow. Let's look just to make sure. Tomorrow at 1:30 will be the Kit Together live. So I'll see you tomorrow at 1:30. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your Monday.